All right, good morning and welcome to the County of Berrien for our 10:30 Board of Commissioner meeting. A little bit of housekeeping, reminder, please silence or turn off all electronic devices during the duration of our meeting. I'm pointing at Commissioner Ott. And any materials that you wish to have distributed to the board, you can do so by giving it to our Sergeant of Arms, which is Commissioner Jim Kern. Thank you. If you wish to address the board, you can do so at the appropriate times in the agenda by going to the podium, stating your name, jurisdiction, and you'll have 2 minutes to address the board. Today, we have our invocation being given by Commissioner Dave Volrath, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, which is being offered by Commissioner Jim Kern. If you wish to, please stand with us and join.
Please bow your head with me in prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and all the opportunities it has to offer. Please be with us and guide our hearts and our minds as we come together today to make decisions that may affect us all. May we all support one another as we continue to search for the most meaningful ways to serve you and our neighbors. Lord, we thank you for your presence here today as we pray in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Go back to you. Thank you both for offering that. Much appreciated. With that, let's move on to the roll call. Bell?
Here.
Curran?
Here.
Freeling? Present. Harrison?
Here.
Hinkleman?
Here.
Alex, or sorry.
Both of us are
I know. Pittsford? Tyler? Here. Volrath?
Here.
Whirlpool?
Here.
Yarborough?
Present.
And Elliott is absent. You have 10 present and 2 absent. We have a quorum. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from our January 23rd meeting. Everybody received those? If so, I'd entertain a motion to approve them. I've received a motion from Commissioner Ott, seconded from Commissioner Warfel. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Apparently the paperwork was opposed. Next item is communications. I do know that we had a few. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Yes, you had an email from Southwest Michigan Tourist Council offering information about Southwest Michigan's ultimate winter bucket list. An email from Amanda Klein, State Government Relations Director with the American Heart Association. February is recognized as National Heart Month. An email from Southwest Michigan Tourist Council on Boozy Bites and Maker's Trail beverages. An email from Southwest Michigan Tourist Council, discover why St. Joseph is one of Michigan's most romantic destinations. An email from Southwest Michigan Tourist Council to vote for Watermark Beer Garden. And an email from MSU Extension with a farewell message from the District 13 Director. That's all the communications. Thank you.
Again. With that being said, we come to the thank you. Got to turn that on. All right. So we are in the consent calendar portion. Since there were no public comments that were being made, I've had one request for a resolution to be removed and considered separately. That is P2502 126. So that will be a resolution considered separately from the consent calendar. With that being said, all other items will remain on the consent calendar, and I'll entertain a motion to move those items forward.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner
I'll
Bell,
second.
seconded by Commissioner Tyler. Is there any discussion for the consent calendars minus the one resolution ending in 26? Any discussion for those resolutions? All right, hearing none, roll call.
Curran,
Yes.
Freeling,
Yes.
Harrison,
Yes.
Hinkleman,
Yes.
Ott,
Yes.
Pittsford is absent, Tyler. Yes. Bullrath,
Yes.
Orfel.
Yes.
Yarborough,
Yes.
Bell is absent, and Elliott is absent. Bell, sorry, I keep mixing up, Bell. Yes,
Yes.
you have 10 yeses and 2 absent. And Commissioner Freeling, I have recorded that you abstained from resolution B 2502064, requisition 76-343.
Thank you so much for that. That again is that item on the requisition list that we have that I abstained from. With that being said, all of those items on the consent calendar are approved. And now we will take consideration for action on resolution P 2502126. I will entertain a motion for approval.
I motion to approve.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Warfel, supported by Commissioner Harrison. Discussion. I will open it up to Commissioner Tyler.
I was reviewing the Midwest strategy for 39,000. Do I love their report every Friday? It's a great report. I like when they zoom and everything. But then you also have the Michigan Association of Counties. So these are the 2 reports you get each year. I did a comparison on Friday's report, and they talked about the 4%. As you can see under there, there's one line item regarding the 4%, what it is. The Michigan Association of Counties has a full page, also does a whole podcast, which is the whole notes from here. Now, I know Midwest helps with other things and other items, and I was made aware that they helped with grants. But we're paying membership dues to Southwest Michigan Commission, and we're paying them $32,406. And I remember years ago, they used to help in finding grants. I know I just received an email this week from my state rep, Paquette, and he's going to now on Fridays send out grants that are available. I am concerned at these difficult times and what the unknown is in our budget, and with changes on the federal area, whether the 49,000 is advisable. As a state rep, and if we're using the Parks grant, before it goes to the state rep, they've already chosen within that department who gets the grant. It doesn't come during the session when the state reps meet. So that has already been taken care of. Also, less than 25% of the counties have a separate lobbyist. Also, when I sat there and researched it further, you're paying $4,000, could be more. When I was in the Michigan Association of County Clerks, with their monthly fee for the 83 counties was $5,400. I think if we're going to do something like this, it would be better to do it with the SMART group, do a regional, than doing it all on our own. This is a pretty high price. I know Allegan, they're paying about $60,000. We've got a better price tag. I do know Kent County, but their population is larger. I also learned we've got Oakland's got it, Wayne, Kent, Allegan, maybe Macomb and Ottawa. So I am very concerned of paying this amount. I like him. I did do some talking to some state reps, wondering to see if he's been out there lobbying. I did not get any response, so I will be voting no on it.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion on this resolution before we take a vote?
Madam Vice Chair,
Yes, sir.
can I hear counterpoint from either PHS or Brian as to why you do want this? I mean, I think she laid out why she doesn't. Why do you?
Sure. So for the past several years, we've used Midwest Strategy to try and boost some of our efforts to secure outside grant funding. Midwest assisted us with securing the Silver Beach grant. Midwest has assisted us with direct communication with members of the House and the Senate. Midwest has assisted with getting members of the legislature down for on-site meetings. And then for any of the commissioners that have gone to the MAC conference in Lansing, Midwest has hosted personal meetings with members of the legislature, just trying to be a voice on behalf of the county. From my perspective, I completely understand and respect Commissioner Tyler's position. I think that is a very reasonable position to take. I do think that this is something that has provided some value. I think that for the folks who have gone to Lansing, I think that they've felt that there's been value in arranging those personal meetings and helping to advocate on behalf of the county. Something that we've done for the last several years is had customized packets that we put together for Midwest to then deliver to members of the legislature, trying to advocate on behalf of our specific needs. So with that said, I respect Commissioner Tyler's position. And we have it budgeted. If the board wants to go in a different direction, I will accept that. I will not.
I thank you for that explanation. I just asked, for the counterpoint.
Sure.
And I like your explanation.
Can I
Madam
ask a
Chair.
question from that?
Absolutely. Do you have a comment?
Yeah.
Does anyone else have any questions? And then I will. Okay, Commissioner Harrison.
So, having dealt with the state, both at the hospital and at the college, the trade associations balance the requests from all of their constituents. And so you are never top of the mindset with the trade associations. A lot of the larger entities, larger than what we are, will actually have internal lobbyists that will do much like Midwest Strategy does now. Western has them, and all the big schools have it. And so I've found particular value with consultants like Midwest Strategy, helping keep us in the forefront of the legislators, and not just legislators, but also the state employees. And so that becomes, I think, particularly valuable, even when we need legislation passed. We need grant support for specific activities. So I strongly encourage continuing with Midwest Strategy.
And if I can add to that, I also think that if we did like the SMART group that you mentioned two counties within the SMART group that also have Midwest Strategy or a lobbyist of some sort. And I think if we were a part of that, we would lose any focus to the Kalamazoo's, to the Kent counties, to the Ottawas. We would be fourth on the list of any attention. And I think those state departments, and Terry, you might know more on this with like the Robin grant, they were doing a lot of, Midwest Strategy was doing a lot of behind the scenes work to make us on the list so that when it went to the legislators, it just got approved. They were doing that behind the scenes stuff versus just working with the legislators.
Yeah, absolutely. Commissioner Tyler, do you still have your question for, okay. Is there any other comments or Commissioner Borat?
I see value in both of them. I drive up to Lansing a couple times a month when we're.
Turn your mic on for us,
When
please.
we're in our meeting season, which we are just started back up again. And I hear a lot of what Dina has to say and the girls up there, and we just lost a lot of two girls up there that had a lot of information, a lot of thoughts, and they've spent a lot of time working hard, and they're gone. So they're going to be replaced, and we're going to miss a little bit this coming year because of that knowledge being gone. But I know, hearing Dina talk and what's going on and Mike's reports every week, I see value in both of them because there's things that I hear up there that I don't get from Mike and things that Mike tells me that I don't get. So, the cost is similar, but they provide a lot of the same things, but not exactly alike. And I see value in having both of them.
And to the commissioners, just so that no one feels as though we're speaking critically of Michigan Association of Counties, Steve Curry is working with me sometime in May. He'll be coming to talk with you all. So that's the director of Michigan Association of Counties, just trying to do his outreach. So just so there's not any impression that we're not actively using MAC. I know that we have commissioners that actively work with MAC.
Mhm.
I try to get onto a monthly call through MAC's administrative officers group. And we also have the MAC conference coming up in April.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will say, going up to Lansing and having them as point of contact has been really beneficial to be able to have those face-to-faces. They were helpful with the when they were looking at the conservation MEEP program and helping to facilitate those meetings for Farm Bureau with legislation to make certain that that program continued to stay intact. And so I do know that there is some value that is there. Commissioner Tyler, I think you had another question that may have popped up for you.
This contract is for 1 year.
Correct.
Is there at any time that you can stop the contract, withdraw?
Yes.
And in this contract, you're looking at a monthly retainer of 4,000, which my understanding, learning from Allegan and talking to some of the others, this could grow because Allegans have grown to 60,000, but I know they had a major project. So there's no cap on this.
2024, our exact amount spent was $48,646.50. We were careful about trying to use virtual meetings to avoid any mileage reimbursements. We were just cautious about the use of the service and trying to keep that cost as close to the base amount as possible.
When he gives the bill, does he itemize how often where he's going or anything like that? Is there any hours?
I can pull you a copy of the bills. I don't know that off the top of my head,
Okay,
but
thank
I'll
you.
happily pull the copies.
Are there any other items for discussion on this matter? If not, let's go ahead and take a roll call.
Freeland.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
Hinkleman.
Yes.
Ott.
Yes.
Pittsburgh is absent. Tyler.
No.
Horace.
Yes.
Warfel.
Yes.
Scarborough.
Yes.
Bell.
Yes.
And Kurt.
Yes.
9 yeas and 1 nay.
The resolution is approved, and Commissioner Taylor, thank you for your comments and the research that you did on that. It's much appreciated. So moving forward on the agenda, we come to committee reports, and we have admin going first.
Thank you,
You ready?
Madam Vice Chair. First in to see us this morning was Ashley from Animal Control. She talked to us about the complement change. They went to then I think she came up to PHS. Want to thank you for the resolution that we approved today through the consent calendar for her complement change. After Ashley, we had Scott Sanford, our Chief Public Defender. Scott says his office has been busy. Just in the first quarter, they've had 423 new felony cases and 716 new misdemeanor cases. They also did 1,244 arraignments and 110 probation violations. He talked to us a little bit about his budget and staffing. He's adapting to the MIDC, which is October 1st, as opposed to the county and the state, which is January 1st. So he's making those adjustments. After Scott, we had Mark Heiliger from the road department in to see us. And Mark gave us an update on, he has all 10 trucks, plow trucks, in service. And just at this point, I think it's a good time to point out the law has changed to where you got to stay back 200 feet
Yeah.
from a snow plow.
Yeah.
So, you know, Yeah, I know. It's like, give these guys a break, you know? Just, be aware that those snowplow guys have got their hands full. So anyway, that's just a little reminder. I did want to have some construction highlights. Hollywood Road Bridge construction starts February the 24th and will be closed for 2 to 3 weeks. Speed Drain Road closure, this is from Union Pier Road, is still gonna be closed for another 4 weeks, I think he said. Met with the townships, they're still solidifying their agreements. He is having a town hall meeting on the Red Arrow Highway project. This is south of Union Pier, that stretch, and then the stretch south of Stevensville. And that is all from the road department. Let's see, the vice chair was busy. She didn't get in to see us, but Brian did. Date on some things. We know you were busy, so.
Such a slacker.
We do have some resolutions for you the next time we get together. Resolution ending in 131. This is a contract between us and Corewell Health. They have bomb dogs that we are going to jointly, through a memorandum of understanding, be able to use their bomb dogs when needed. So if there is an incident and our dogs are busy, we can use Corewell's. 133, this is a natural gas contract with MyGas. That is something that is new. 144, this is to apply, LEPC to apply for a grant through the MSP Emergency Management and Homeland Security Division in the amount of $4,250. Resolution ending in 145. St. Joe County, Cass County, they're all part of Region 5. And St. Joe County is asking us to act as the fiduciary within Region 5. We've done that before for them. We've also done it with Cass County before. Resolution 146, with starting back up of the Palisades power plant. We have some responsibilities in that, and this is to accept $96,000 for our expenses for them to get started back up. And we approved our minutes, and that is our report.
Thank you for that. Are there any questions for admin? All right, hearing none, we will move on to finance, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Madam Vice Chairperson. We were visited by our administrator, Brian Doucette, and we talked a bit about BC-BIT. And even though with the weather and all, they're still about where they want to be in the things that they're doing. And they already know what the hookup is, the amount for per property, $600 something. And they meet regularly with our committee and keeps them up to date. Also, Administrator Doucette introduced us to our director of the printing department. And her name is Christine Waterhouse. And what she's been doing, she's been working already a couple of weeks and analyzing what's there and what's needed. And the hope is that we may spread out a bit with the work that we do, not interfering with businesses that are printers, but there are a lot of more things we possibly could be doing, and we'll be able to do it in a very modern and sufficient way that would be of value to us, because you say it's a real gem with the potential that we have. It could finance and all the that department, and that we'd have the correct, all the equipment that we needed or whatever. There was, what was about the BC-BITs?
There was also the extension of an agreement with DCS. It is the broadband consultant working directly with BC-BIT. The intent is to bring forward an authorizing resolution to next week's board meeting that would allow for DCS to continue working for another year.
Another year, yes. And then the city of Watervliet has been requested to approve a tax abatement for a grocery store that's in their community. And what has to happen, it has to come to the Berrien County Board because that interferes with our tax collection that we expect. And so we're going to work with them because we certainly want that community to have the stores or whatever it is that is needed. And I think Dan Fetty said, as he thought about it, we've never denied a request from a community that the county could be able to help. We had a lot, and our minutes were approved, and we had a lot of waivers and bids that came through, and a lot from the road department for supplies, for equipment and things to make it work, but also we're buying 6 new sheriff's cars and some different big things like that also. And we approve them. What we do is we agree. We don't make a motion necessarily. Then we had a lot of quite a few bids, and we did say that we have a motion that if it fits all the requirements we ask, we go with the lowest. If it does not, then we ask that they bring it back to us. I believe that's my report.
Thank you for that report. Are there any questions for finance? All right, hearing none, we will move on to personnel.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. We also met this morning. We reviewed the monthly vacancy report. This has been developed by staff and very helpful as we look at hiring and departures from the county employment. We had Guy Miller in. He gave a very detailed report. There's a resolution coming from them. This is through the Great Start Health Collaborative. This is for pack and plays for new parents. And so you'll see that at a later point. He did talk a bit about some of the risk with the changes at the federal level affecting monies coming primarily to the state of Michigan, then down to our local health department. So they'll continue to monitor those. So he also talked a bit about the flu season, being upon us, as well, including bird flu and most recently Ebola coming back into the discussion. So he'll continue to give us updates on that. They did participate along with the sheriff's department and the prosecutor's office in the polar plunge. And so we had good representation from county employees in those activities. So we approved an advanced step hire request from the health department. Also, this is for a community health worker. We reviewed and approved the monthly pension refund and rollover requests. And also you'll have a resolution coming to you for a complement change from the friend of the court. And so we did take a look at all of those and act on those. We met with the new director of the GIS department, Erica, and that was very helpful. She's hit the ground running, and we're very pleased with a lot of the projects that she has underway. We've got a resolution regarding animal services, the complement change, and so we did approve that. So that actually did a good job representing the needs there, and then had a update on Silver Beach from Jill Adams. And so we also had the privilege of having our vice chair and the administrator come and provide us guidance and direction. And so that was particularly valuable. So that kind of concludes my report.
Thank you for that report, and take note, I went to PHS.
Yes, Madam Vice, now I see you were in PHS all that time, so. They need
They had
much more.
important work.
They need more help than we do, so I understand.
Other questions for PHS? Commissioner Tyler?
What is the status of hiring a new personnel director?
Sure.
What did you say?
Commissioner Tyler asked the status of hiring a new human resources director. And the response is, we've been actively going through interviews. The county received close to 24 applicants. I've worked with a variety of department heads to do a series of interviews to try and narrow the candidate pool. Today, as the members of the executive committee are getting ready to leave, I'll be talking with them about what their calendar looks like for next week. The intent is the executive committee also makes up the hiring committee. I have to bring the department head recommendations to them. They'll go through interviews, and then that recommendation will flow to PHS with an authorizing resolution. We still have to do background checks. We'll still have to, assuming concurrence from the hiring committee on staff recommendations. So we still have quite a bit of work to do, but we are getting closer. I've sat in on a total of 9 first round interviews and 4 second round interviews. I'll talk with hiring committee today about their schedule, and I would hope that over the next 1 to 2 weeks, we'll be doing final interviews.
It probably was under your administrator, but I didn't know if you had anything to do with it.
I've been reviewing some of the applications for Brian and offering some thoughts and some secret information.
Oh, yeah, that'll become the headline now.
Yeah.
Yes, Commissioner Ott.
How close are we to another update? Because there were 2 union contracts that were still being negotiated. Are we getting closer to finalizing those?
What I would say is that we are in mediation, and that's the extent of what I can offer.
Yeah. Are there any other questions for personnel? All right, hearing none. We will move on to commissioner reports, and John, I'm going to start with you, if I may.
2 meetings.
Microphone, please.
In the last while, we have 2 meetings. One was for land preservation. And that meeting went very well. They're considering another couple applications for permanent reservation of land into ag. And then last evening, along with Commissioners Harrison and Werfel, we attended the soil conservation dinner that they had. It was very nice. Snowy night, very nice. So thank you.
I just want to thank Brian and Joe for their work that they've been doing with the city of St. Joe and, addressing some of the Silver Beach parking concerns. Thank you to our staff.
Sure.
At 12:30 today in this room, a joint meeting of the Brownfield Authority and the Land Bank Authority will be meeting. And thank you for giving me your seat on that Brownfield.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Last week, attended the 500 circle design as we go through that process. And also BC Bit last week. We're kind of gearing up for BEAD, and, we've got some residences still in the county that are unserved that we're going to try to get service to them. So we still have a lot of good work to do at BC Bit. That's my report.
Attended the Area Agency on Aging, 911 QA, the MAC Finance and General Government, and the Material Management Committee a few days ago. Other than that, if you have any questions about it, and because we're all limited on time, call me. I'll explain anything I know. Other than that, that's my report. I'd just like to thank all those guys that are jumped in the icy water and raising money for good causes, and for all of us who will no longer ever do that again. Thank you.
Yeah.
We used to do some crazy things. We didn't do it for money. We just did it for fun.
Oh, my.
No report other than to say I went up to Riverwood yesterday, met the director and the manager up there to prepare for my meeting next week.
Excellent.
So I had a meeting of the health board, participated in a meeting with the drain commissioner and the state individuals. The 500 circle planning. I had a meeting at the Stevensville Village regarding visioning for the downtown. The Lincoln Township Board meeting later that evening. And then, as John mentioned, the Conservation District meeting.
And I attended with Commissioner Curran Volrath, the 911 quality meeting. We reviewed a fire, and it was quite interesting because, and I know we can't go into a lot of detail, but it was a fire, all the fire chiefs that were there said, we thought that fire went really well. What was the issue? By the end of it, they all had lots of new ideas to take back. So these quality meetings are so cool because you just don't know what's going to come out of them and when they hear all the other sides. So anyway, also attended the Drain Eagle meeting a few weeks ago, or yeah, it was a few weeks ago now, wasn't it? Which was very productive. I was very impressed with our Drain office and Eagle's willingness to be, how cooperative they were willing to be as well. Had a Michigan Works meeting yesterday. Unemployment in Berrien County is still at about 4.8%. Interesting fact though that came out, the awards for the GoPro, which is the internship program. The state awarded about 800 total, 83 counties. Berrien received 43 of the awards. Employers in Berrien County received 43 of those awards. So incredibly high. We're like the 4th or 5th county as far as receiving the most for those internship programs, which was awesome to hear. Attended the conservation meeting last night with Commissioner Hinkleman and Harrison. We have the joint Brownfield Land Bank meeting today. It's the first time I think we've ever done that. So, and I serve on both of those committees, so that's going to be interesting. I don't know if that means I get 2 votes, like we're voting on something, I don't know.
2 per diem.
And then tomorrow is the CEO meeting, and it is in Royalton. I hope that some of you are able to attend. That's my report.
Thank you.
I have no report.
All right. I had a planning commission meeting this week. We had the 3 new members that were appointed to the planning commission. 2 of them were able to attend. 1 of them was out sick. But we looked at some different zoning matters within New Buffalo Township. We looked at the master plan for Baroda Village. And then we did talk about land preservation and some of those applications and just the new standards that they have through the state that an appraisal needs to be done upfront rather than post the application process and the challenges that could have in just the expense upfront for any of those applicants that are looking at that. And then also what funding mechanism might be available going forward was another item of discussion that was had in the planning commission. I was not able to attend the BCBIT meeting because I was down in Florida for work at the time. But I do want to say that we are working quickly on the BEAD applications and those ISPs that may be applying for the $1.6 billion that's available through the state of Michigan. There are about 1,700 to 1,800 parcels that are still unserved. Many of them will be along the west coast, west of I-94 along the lakeshore. And the best thing that I can say to any residents, or if you're getting phone calls from residents or municipalities on how to get residents connected with these ISPs, our BCBIT page that we have for Berrien County actually has a lot of interactive links that you can click onto, and you can actually look and see what internet service provider is available for your parcel. We also have our GIS map that is live that tells you what work is proposed, what work is in construction, and what work is already completed for connection with the Robin Grant. And I just want to thank this board for your support, both with approving the DCS, considering to approve the DCS contract extension, and then also just your support for the Robin Grant. And we're seeing that come to fruition with some of the invoices now that are coming from MEC. It's exciting to see that kind of work kind of come full circle. And so I wanted to just pause and acknowledge that. The other thing, I'll just do this in my commissioner report. I know that we had taken action on Schwark Drain for the realtor to be able to post that to make it go live. And so that will be going live as of today. Correct, Brian?
It may be Monday. I will confirm with Brian Savage. But I have, during this meeting, I have notified him that he's authorized to get it posted. So to the commissioners, this is the parcel within the village of Three Oaks. This is the land that the Board of Commissioners made an investment to pay off the debt owed on that land.
Mhm.
We are now going to be listing it onto the MLS so that anyone and everyone that has interest in acquiring the property will have a legitimate opportunity. It will go live for 30 days. At that time, any buy-sell agreement will be brought back to the board for consideration. I'm pretty confident you'll have at least 2 opportunities to consider buy-sell agreements, and I'm hopeful that there could be more. But I will make sure that a notice goes out to the board. You can share it with any of the local units, any of your contacts that may be interested in acquiring property. It'll be listed for a month, and there will be an opportunity for the village, for any private entities that are interested to work with Mr. Savage and get a buy-sell agreement in front of the board.
We'll roll right into your administrator report.
Okay.
I think that was part of it.
Yeah, that was the
Stole
main
your
one.
thunder there a little.
Just for the board. So last week we were set to honor Julie Piak for her years of service with Michigan State University Extension. Unfortunately, we had a weather issue. Julie told me on Friday, it didn't break her heart that she didn't have to get in the car and drive through a snowstorm.
Right.
She is officially retired. I went to her retirement party last Friday, but I assured her that I would connect with her and get her proclamation, or I'm sorry, her resolution delivered to her. So thank you for taking that action. And thanks to Annette for her work on authoring it. I will make sure it gets delivered. Those are my comments.
Thank you for those.
Yep.
We move on into the agenda. General public comment, anything that you wish to say? Looking at you, Melissa. Okay. With no public comment, other business, is there any other business to come before the board today?
I guess just one last thing. So to Commissioners Werfel, Commissioner Yarborough, Commissioner Freeling, Guy Miller will be in touch with you. There will be an opioid meeting on Tuesday. Mamie, Guy is going to call you later today. Just make sure that if you have questions, you can reach out to Guy, you can reach out to me. But that meeting will occur on Tuesday at 11 a.m. 10 a.m.
We just got the email.
Okay,
10?
So
Okay.
is it Zoom or live?
Live,
live.
At the health department?
yeah. There should be an email in your inbox,
So
but
10 a.m.?
Yeah.
There's about 15 things that day.
Does finance have to stay behind or not?
Yes, Mark is here, and if you're willing to stay, we can get you an answer on the Red Arrow paving.
so in finance committee, we had one of our bids that we needed some other questions to be answered before we proceeded with moving it forward to the department to review, and that was for Red Arrow Highway construction.
And he'll be here.
He'll be here, so stay here after our meeting. If there's no other business, announcements and reminders, the county facilities will be closed this coming Monday, February 17th, in observation of President's Day. Any other announcements?
How are you going to handle making sure that we approve that? Is somebody going to be here recording secretary for the?
I'll run up and grab.
We'll make
Karen.
sure Karen's here. Yeah, absolutely. All right, with